The kitchen in my house was my biggest nightmare. Drawers overflowing, disorganized cabinets, appliances I didn't even remember I had. Coming home after a tiring day and having to prepare a meal in that chaos. Impossible. I ended up ordering delivery and spending way more than I should have. My stress only increased when I looked at that mess. I started to realize that this disorganization wasn't just affecting my wallet. It was also impacting my mental health. The feeling of being unable to control even the space where I prepared my food left me anxious and frustrated. Then one day, I decided I needed a change. I discovered that the Japanese have a different approach to organization. It's not just about cleaning. It's about creating an environment that promotes tranquility and mental clarity. What impressed me the most was learning that we don't need hours or days to make this transformation. We can start with just 15 minutes. That's how I transformed my chaotic kitchen into a place that now brings me inner peace. And today I'm going to share with you how to do the same. Without complications, without large investments, just with a new way of looking at your space. The first thing we need to understand is that every item in our kitchen needs to have a clear purpose. That cake pan you used just once 3 years ago is taking up both physical and mental space. Yes, mental space, because every time you open that cabinet and see that pan, your brain has to process that information unconsciously. When I started observing my kitchen with this perspective, I realized I had so many things that I didn't use or that served duplicate purposes. 3 different spatulas, 5 plastic containers without lids, utensils I received as gifts but never used. To start your 15-minute transformation, grab 3 boxes or bags, one for items you'll keep, another for items you'll donate, and a third for items you need to discard. Choose a small area in your kitchen. It can be a drawer or a cabinet, and start there. I remember the day I decided to start with the silverware drawer. I found utensils I didn't even know I had, some broken and others I had never used. It was liberating to separate only what I truly needed and would use. The rest went to donation or the trash. In the following days, I dedicated another 15 minutes to a different area of the kitchen. The transformation occurred gradually, without overwhelming me. Soon I realized I didn't need 5 different knives. 2 good ones were enough. I didn't need 10 glasses. 6 were sufficient for me and occasional guests. This conscious reduction brought me an incredible sense of lightness. Every time I opened a cabinet and saw only the essentials, well organized, I felt an immediate sense of calm. Preparing meals became easier and more enjoyable. Another important principle I discovered was keeping surfaces clear. In my old kitchen, the counter was always crowded. Blender, food processor, toaster, coffee maker, spice rack, fruit bowl. It felt like there wasn't any space to prepare food. I decided to store away appliances I don't use daily. The coffee maker stayed because I use it every morning, but the food processor went into the cabinet since I only use it a few times a week. The result was amazing. A spacious countertop, easy to clean, and it gives me a feeling of openness. You can do the same in your kitchen. Observe what you really use every day and keep only that in sight. The rest can be stored in accessible places, but doesn't need to take up your visual space constantly. Another change I made was organizing items by frequency of use. The things I use every day are kept in the most accessible cabinets and drawers at eye or hand level. The items I use occasionally are stored in higher or lower compartments. For example, the plates, glasses, and utensils I use daily are on the middle shelves of the cabinets, easy to reach. Serving dishes for special occasions are on the higher shelves. This has made my routine much smoother. Apply this principle in your kitchen. Take a moment to think about what you actually use frequently. Rearrange your cabinets and drawers to place these items in the most accessible spots. You'll be surprised at how much time you save in your daily routine. A common mistake we make is storing food in inappropriate containers or without any organization. How many times have you bought something you already had because you couldn't see what was in the pantry? I invested in some clear glass containers to store grains, flours, and pasta. In addition to making the kitchen look nicer, I can see exactly what I have and how much of each item is available. This prevents unnecessary purchases and food waste. If you don't want to invest in new containers right now, you can reuse glass jars from preserves or sauces. Just wash them well, remove the labels, and use them to store your food. The important thing is to be able to see the contents. For the refrigerator, I adopted the same principle. I organized by categories: dairy on one shelf, fruits in the appropriate drawer, vegetables in another, and sauces in the door. I also started to prepare some foods right after shopping, washing and chopping vegetables, for example, and storing them in clear containers. This organization has helped me reduce food waste. I can clearly see what I have and what I need to consume first. Additionally, preparing meals has become much quicker since I don't have to search for ingredients. In your fridge, try doing the same. Take 15 minutes to reorganize it, grouping similar items together and making everything visible. Use the drawers properly. The vegetable drawer has controlled humidity for that type of food, for example. One practice that I've incorporated is cleaning while I cook. In the past, I used to leave everything for the end and ended up with a sink full of dishes, which completely discouraged me. Now I keep a basin with water and soap in the sink and place the used utensils there while I'm preparing the food. During breaks, like when something is on the stove, I wash 1 or 2 items. By the time I finish cooking, I've already cleaned a good portion of the dishes and the kitchen is not a mess. This makes all the difference in my mood and my willingness to cook the next day. You can do the same by creating the habit of cleaning as you cook. Start slow, maybe by washing just the cutting boards or knives between tasks. Over time, it becomes natural, and your kitchen will stay organized even while preparing meals. Another important aspect is to consider the workflow in the kitchen. Pay attention to how you move while preparing a meal. Do you have to cross the kitchen multiple times to get ingredients or tools? This can be optimized. I reorganized my cabinets with this workflow in mind. The spices are close to the stove, the preparation utensils are near the area where I chop the food, and the pots are near the stove. This significantly reduced meal prep time and made the process much more enjoyable. Try observing your kitchen routine for a few days and identify possible improvements. You might need to move some items around to create a more logical flow. Dedicate 15 minutes to this reorganization and feel the difference in your daily experience. Lighting also plays a crucial role in creating a peaceful environment. If possible, take advantage of natural light during the day by keeping lightweight curtains that filter light without completely blocking it. For the evening, if your kitchen has only one strong central light, consider adding some softer indirect lights. This can be done with LED strips under cabinets or small lamps in a corner of the countertop. Softer lighting creates a cozy and less stressful atmosphere. Another element that transformed my experience in the kitchen was introducing a bit of greenery. A small herb plant on the windowsill or countertop brings life to the space and is also useful for meals. Basil, chives, or mint are easy to care for and look beautiful in the decor. If you're not great with plants, you can start with something simple like a potted succulent which requires minimal care. The greenery brings a sense of freshness and a connection to nature, even in an indoor setting. I also discovered the importance of creating small rituals in the kitchen. For instance, preparing breakfast mindfully without rushing and paying attention to the movements, aromas, and textures. This transforms an everyday task into a moment of self-care and connection. You can create your own rituals. Maybe it's making afternoon tea or slicing fruits for a dessert. The important thing is to be present, focused solely on that activity, without distractions such as your phone or television. This mindful presence in the kitchen has a powerful effect on our well-being. When we are fully engaged in what we're doing, our minds calm down, our stress decreases, and we experience a sense of inner peace. It's amazing how small changes can completely transform our experience at home. My kitchen went from a place that caused me anxiety to a space that provides me with calmness and inspiration, and it all started with just 15-minute sessions. I remember how difficult it was to come home after an exhausting day and deal with that mess. Today, walking into my organized and functional kitchen is a relief. I know exactly where everything is. I don't waste time searching for utensils or ingredients, and the process of preparing a meal flows naturally. This transformation goes beyond just physical organization. When we manage to create order in our environment, we create order in our minds. The feeling of control over our space gives us a sense of control over our lives. And I'm not talking about control in a rigid sense or absolute perfection. I'm talking about creating an environment that works for you, that reflects your needs and priorities, that facilitates your routine instead of complicating it. An organized kitchen also helps us make more conscious choices regarding our food. When we can clearly see what we have available, we tend to make better use of food and reduce waste. When the process of cooking is enjoyable, we are more likely to prepare more meals at home, which generally means healthier eating. Another benefit I've noticed is the savings. When we know exactly what we have in our cabinets and fridge, we only buy what we need. Additionally, with a functional kitchen, we're more motivated to cook at home, reducing expenses on delivery and dining out. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't require major investments or renovations. These are small changes, implemented gradually, that together create a significant transformation, and it all starts with just 15 minutes. I want to encourage you to start today. Choose a small area of your kitchen. It could be a drawer, a cabinet, or even the countertop, and spend 15 minutes organizing it following the principles I shared. Remember, keep only what is useful and brings joy. Create a specific place for everything, and think about workflow. In the following days, spend an additional 15 minutes on another area. In 1 or 2 weeks, you will have completely transformed your kitchen. More importantly, you will have transformed your relationship with this space and the activities you perform in it. It's not just about having a beautiful kitchen to impress guests. It's about creating an environment that nourishes not only your body through the food you prepare, but also your mind and spirit, through order, beauty, and functionality. When our external environment is in harmony, we naturally find more internal harmony. It's as if organizing the space also creates room in our minds, allowing thoughts and emotions to flow more clearly. I remember how overwhelmed and anxious I felt before this transformation. Every time I looked at the clutter in the kitchen, I felt a mix of guilt and frustration. Why couldn't I keep things organized? Why was it so difficult? The truth is that I was trying to do everything at once, without a clear system or principles to guide me. When I learned to approach organization in a more mindful and gradual way, everything became easier and more sustainable. Today, keeping my kitchen organized is not an effort. It's a habit. The benefits go far beyond just appearance. It's a feeling of peace, of control over my environment, of respect for myself and the space where I live. You can also experience this transformation. Start small, be patient with yourself, and celebrate each bit of progress. And remember, it's not about perfection, but about creating a space that works for you, that reflects who you are and how you want to live. An organized kitchen following these principles becomes more than just a place to prepare food. It turns into a sanctuary, a space for self-care, connection, and presence, a place where you can reconnect with yourself after a busy day, where you can create moments of joy and nourishment for yourself and the people you love. I hope these ideas inspire you to begin your own journey of transformation. Remember, it all starts with 15 minutes. 15 minutes today, 15 minutes tomorrow, and soon you will have created a space that brings inner peace and joy to your daily life. One last thought I would like to share. The true beauty of a kitchen does not lie in expensive appliances or luxury finishes. It is in the harmony, the functionality, the way the space reflects your values and makes your life easier. It is in the sense of calm you feel when you enter it, the inspiration it brings to create nutritious meals, and the way it invites connection and sharing. Thank you for accompanying me on this journey of transformation. I hope you find as much peace and joy in your kitchen as I have found in mine. And remember, the transformation of your space begins with the transformation of your perspective on it. See your kitchen not just as a functional place, but as a reflection of your values, your priorities, the person you are, and the life you want to live. With this new perspective, every small change becomes meaningful, and every decision to organize becomes an affirmation of what truly matters to you.